Welcome to the May 2026 edition of the U.S. Africa Business Roundup. Over the past month, CCA, Corporate Council on Africa, has continued to engage government and private sector leaders from across the United States and Africa to strengthen trade, investment, and commercial partnerships between the United States and African nations. This month also included the celebration of Africa Day on May 25th, commemorating the founding of the Organization of African Unity, now the African Union. Africa Day is an opportunity to recognize the continent's progress, innovation, and growing role in the global economy, while reaffirming the importance of strong partnerships that advance shared prosperity between the United States and Africa. From diplomatic engagements in Washington to meetings on Capitol Hill, high-level discussions in Togo, and important conversations on Nigeria's energy sector, CCA remains committed to advancing business-led collaboration and expanding economic opportunities between the United States and African markets. On May 14th, we were pleased to host a briefing for chiefs of mission, chargés d'affaires, and commercial attachés from invited African diplomatic missions in Washington to discuss the objectives and opportunities surrounding this year's U.S. Africa Business Summit. The session reinforced the strong interest from governments across the continent in advancing trade, investment, and commercial partnerships with the United States. We were especially honored to be joined by Ambassador Brenda Wutusami of Mauritius, who encouraged her fellow ambassadors to join Mauritius in hosting what promises to be a dynamic and impactful summit. The renewal of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, beyond its scheduled end of December 2026 expiration, remains a top priority for CCA and our members and stakeholders. We were pleased to join the African Diaspora Network and WON for meetings on the Hill on May 15th to meet with members of Congress and staffers. We highlighted AGOA's success to date and its benefits for not just Africans, but for U.S. companies, workers, and consumers. We also participated in Biashara Africa 2026 in Lomé, Togo, where discussions focused on how the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, AFCFTA, is changing the African landscape by eliminating barriers to intra-African trade, while also serving as a strategic manufacturing and investment opportunity for Africa's global partners, including the United States. During a panel discussion alongside Gavera Yao of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, we highlighted how AGOA and the AFCFTA are shaping a new era of U.S.-Africa trade and investment relations grounded in mutual benefit, co-investment, and industrial collaboration. This was also the focus of a constructive meeting with the Secretary General of the AFCFTA Secretariat, His Excellency Wamkele Mene. While in Togo, I also had the opportunity to participate in an AmCham Business Roundtable hosted by Kimberly McClure, Chargé d'Affaires at the U.S. Embassy in Togo. Discussions focused on Togo's competitive advantages and practical solutions to challenges impacting companies, both Togolese and American. In addition, I was pleased to have the honor to meet with His Excellency Faure Gnassingbé, President of the Togolese Republic, to discuss strengthening economic partnerships between the United States and Togo, as well as other African nations. Back in Washington, we hosted a roundtable discussion on Nigeria's energy sector outlook, featuring Olu Verhinyen and her delegation. The conversation brought together CCA members and industry leaders to discuss reforms underway in Nigeria's energy sector and opportunities for increased private sector investment. Discussions highlighted the Nigerian government's efforts to strengthen the investment climate through reforms in energy infrastructure, exchange rate policy, security, and local participation in the sector. The session also provided members with an opportunity to engage directly with the delegation on key issues impacting the future of Nigeria's energy sector and broader economic growth. thank you for listening until the next time.